After 24 hours of fasting, your body begins to clean itself. But after 72 hours, something much deeper begins to happen. At this point, your body is no longer transitioning between energy systems. It is fully adapted to a new metabolic state. Glucose is no longer your primary fuel. Your glycogen stores, your body's short-term energy reserves, are now almost completely depleted. And because of that, your body is forced to rely on a different source of energy: stored fat. But this is not just a simple switch from sugar to fat. This is a full metabolic reprogramming. It involves thousands of simultaneous chemical reactions designed to preserve your vital tissues. As fat is broken down, your liver begins converting fatty acids into ketones. These small molecules are much more efficient than glucose. And these ketones become the dominant fuel source for your brain and your body. They provide a high-yield energy that burns cleaner than sugar. But ketones are not just an alternative energy source. They are signaling molecules. They actively communicate with your cells and your DNA. They influence gene expression, activating pathways that protect you from oxidative stress and help you maintain lean muscle mass. They regulate inflammation and help your cells become more efficient under stress, effectively calming the body's internal immune response. At the same time, insulin levels remain very low, and this changes the entire internal environment of your body at the most fundamental level. Because insulin is not just about blood sugar, it is also a powerful signal for growth, storage, and energy abundance. When insulin is high, your body is in storage mode. It builds fat and locks away your energy reserves behind a hormonal wall. But when insulin is low for an extended period of time, your body shifts into something completely different, a state focused on survival and repair. This new state is defined by efficiency. Your body begins to prioritize the maintenance of its most critical systems over rapid growth. Now, this is where things become even more interesting, because not all cells respond the same way to this low insulin environment. Some cells are metabolically flexible. They can switch between fuel sources seamlessly, using whatever energy is available at the moment. They can use fat, they can use ketones, and they can function efficiently even when energy availability is significantly low. These are typically your healthy, well-functioning cells. But other cells are not as adaptable. They are rigid and dependent on glucose. They depend on fast, inefficient energy pathways, and when glucose becomes limited during a long fast, they begin to struggle and falter. At a cellular level, this creates a kind of pressure, a biological filtering effect that identifies which cells are truly optimized for survival. This internal shift creates an environment that is more favorable for efficient cells and more challenging for the less efficient ones. This is not something you feel immediately. It happens silently, deep beneath the surface of your daily experience. It happens at the microscopic level, inside your tissues, inside your organs, and inside billions of cells working to adapt to this new state. And as this process continues beyond 72 hours, your body begins to optimize. It becomes more selective with every resource it has. It becomes more efficient with energy, more selective with resources, and more focused on maintaining function under metabolic stress. At the same time, something else begins to change: your brain. As ketone levels rise, your brain starts using them as a primary fuel source. And unlike glucose, ketones provide a more stable energy supply. They do not cause rapid fluctuations, spikes, or the dreaded midday crashes. They do not spike and crash. Instead, they create a steady, consistent source of clean energy that allows for sustained cognitive function. This is why many people report increased mental clarity during prolonged fasting. Better focus, sharper thinking, and a sense of calm alertness. But this clarity is not just psychological, it reflects a deeper biological shift. Your brain is operating in a vastly different metabolic environment, one that is more stable, more efficient, and far less dependent on constant fuel intake from the outside world. It is self-sustaining, and all of this is happening at the same time. Your body is conserving energy, reallocating resources, and adapting in a highly intelligent way. It is a testament to the survival mechanisms evolved over millions of years. But this is only the surface of what happens after 72 hours. Because as your body remains in this state, it begins to activate deeper internal processes that go far beyond simple energy metabolism. It triggers a profound cleaning and renewal cycle known as autophagy, where the body literally recycles its own damaged parts to build new ones. Because after 72 hours, your body doesn't just adapt, it begins to rebuild itself from the inside out. This is the true power of the shift. The metabolic shift has truly deepened. It is time to understand what comes next in this biological journey. By the time you reach the 72-hour frontier of fasting, your body has moved beyond simple survival. Autophagy is no longer just activated. It has become a body-wide operation of total renewal and biological optimization. At this stage, the process becomes significantly more active and selective. Your cells are now operating at their peak efficiency, identifying and eliminating damage that has accumulated for years within your tissues. Think of autophagy as your body's internal refinery. It is a precise mechanism that allows your cells to scan for damaged components, break them down into raw materials, and reuse them to build new structures. But to truly appreciate the sheer scale of this biological masterpiece, we must look deeper into the architecture of the cell, where the battle against stress is won or lost. Every day, your cells are bombarded by toxins, chronic inflammation, and metabolic byproducts. Over time, this leads to misfolded proteins and waste that clogs your system, slowing down every metabolic process. Under normal conditions, your body is hardwired for growth and storage. But fasting changes that hierarchy. When energy is scarce, your body shifts its focus from expansion to deep, dedicated repair. Instead of demanding new resources from the outside, your body starts reclaiming them from the inside. It identifies redundant parts and begins a massive recycling program to keep your core biological functions strong. This is where autophagy becomes truly aggressive. Your cells deploy lysosomes to scan the cytoplasm with surgical precision, tagging inefficient organelles and damaged structures for systematic destruction and reclamation. These damaged parts are broken down into their basic building blocks, pure amino acids and fatty acids. These are not wasted. They are redirected to fuel vital organs and maintain your cellular integrity. Perhaps the most critical target of this 72-hour fast is your mitochondria, the engines that power your life. When these engines wear out, they leak toxins and compromise your entire systemic health. Through a process called metaphagy, your body identifies these failing engines and removes them. They are replaced by brand new, high-performance mitochondria that produce more energy with significantly less oxidative stress. To ensure you don't lose muscle during this process, your growth hormone levels skyrocket. This hormonal surge protects your lean mass and prepares your body for the rapid rebuilding phase that follows. Simultaneously, you activate sirtuins, the longevity genes. These proteins act as molecular guardians, repairing DNA damage and protecting your genome from the instability that leads to aging and chronic disease. Beyond cellular cleaning, we observe a stabilization of cortisol. The body's stress response system is recalibrated, lowering baseline anxiety and allowing your nervous system to enter a state of deep, restorative calm. The 72-hour fast also offers a total reset for your microbiome. By clearing out pathogens and providing a period of rest, you encourage the growth of highly beneficial bacteria, laying the foundation for long-term health. At the 72-hour mark, something truly profound happens, a total reset of your immune system. Your body triggers a hematopoietic stem cell switch, signaling a complete biological regeneration. Old, ineffective immune cells are cleared away. In their place, your bone marrow produces fresh, resilient white blood cells, giving you a brand new, highly responsive defense system. Your brain also receives a massive influx of BDNF. This protein acts like fertilizer for your neurons, strengthening existing synapses and encouraging the growth of new connections for profound mental clarity. This BDNF surge provides long-term protection against neurodegeneration and enhances your cognitive capacity, allowing for a level of focus and mental sharpness that is rarely achieved otherwise. Metabolically, your insulin sensitivity reaches its peak. Your receptors are cleaned and repaired, allowing your body to achieve true metabolic flexibility, transitioning effortlessly into a deep, efficient fat-burning state. But remember, the magic doesn't end when the fast ends. The most critical phase is refeeding. This is when your body uses those pristine building blocks to reconstruct your entire system. As you introduce nutrients, they are channeled into the optimized cells, building a body that is demonstrably stronger, more resilient, and biologically younger than before. Because after 72 hours, your body isn't just cleaning its house. It is making an ultimate choice, deciding which cells are fit to lead you into the future. Your health is your greatest investment. By mastering the 72-hour fast, you are taking control of your biological destiny. Start your journey toward renewal today. Während Ihr Körper über 72 Stunden hinaus fastet, beginnt ein weiteres leistungsstarkes System eine viel aktivere Rolle zu spielen. Ihr Immunsystem. Es wandelt sich von einer einfachen Abwehrtruppe in ein hochspezialisiertes Restaurationsteam. In Ihrem Körper gibt es genau jetzt spezialisierte Zellen, die ständig jede einzelne Faser Ihres Seins überwachen. Scannen, identifizieren, auswerten. Sie suchen nicht nur nach Bakterien, sondern nach internem Versagen. Auf der Suche nach allem, was nicht dorthin gehört. Dazu gehören oxidierte Proteine und defekte Organellen. Zellen, die beschädigt sind. Zellen, die nicht mehr richtig funktionieren, oft auch als Zombiezellen bezeichnet. Darunter befinden sich natürliche Killerzellen und zytotoxische T-Zellen, die nach abnormalen Signaturen suchen. Diese Zellen sind Teil des internen Abwehrsystems Ihres Körpers, das sich nun auf eine präzise Reinigung konzentriert. Sie sind darauf ausgelegt, problematische Zellen zu erkennen und zu eliminieren, bevor sie systemische Entzündungen auslösen können. Dieser Prozess ist eng mit der tiefen Autophagie verbunden, bei der die Zelle buchstäblich beginnt, ihre eigenen beschädigten Teile zu essen, um zu überleben. Durch den Abbau alter Proteine schaffen ihre Zellen neue Rohstoffe für den Aufbau gesunder Strukturen. Es ist ein Meisterwerk des biologischen Recyclings, das sicherstellt, dass in Zeiten des Mangels nichts verschwendet wird. Aber hier ist etwas, das die meisten Menschen über die Umgebung selbst nicht wissen. Wenn ihr Körper ständig gefüttert wird und der Insulinspiegel über Jahre hinweg erhöht bleibt, erzeugen chronische Entzündungen ein lautes internes Milieu, das ihr Immunsystem blind macht. Ihre spezialisierten Zellen werden träge, verlieren ihre Schlagkraft und die Fähigkeit, subtile Bedrohungen zu erkennen. Ihre Reaktionsfähigkeit wird langsamer, ungenauer und letztlich weitaus weniger effektiv. Aber das Fasten beginnt, diese Umgebung auf einer fundamentalen Ebene zu verändern. Wenn der Insulinspiegel sinkt und Entzündungen abklingen, beginnt das biologische Rauschen leiser zu werden. In dieser Stille beginnt Ihr Immunsystem mit einer Klarheit zu arbeiten, die es seit Jahren nicht mehr hatte. Es bewegt sich effizienter, aktiver und mit chirurgischer Präzision. Gleichzeitig verschwendet Ihr Körper nicht mehr 30% seiner täglichen Energie für die Verdauung. Diese massive Energiereserve steht nun vollständig für Reparatur, Wartung und zelluläre Abwehr zur Verfügung. Forschungen legen nahe, dass längeres Fasten tatsächlich eine Regeneration des gesamten Immunsystems auslösen kann. Während alte Zellen aussortiert werden, werden Stammzellen aktiviert, um eine brandneue, stärkere Abwehrtruppe aufzubauen. Dies ist ein totaler Reset, bei dem das Alte entfernt und durch die effizientesten Versionen des Lebens ersetzt wird. Dieser Wandel schafft einen Zustand, in dem Überleben durch biologische Exzellenz definiert wird. Ihr Körper ist nun ein geschlossenes System, das sich ganz auf die Optimierung dessen konzentriert, was bereits im Inneren existiert. In diesem Zustand wird Ihr Immunsystem hyperwachsam und unglaublich reaktionsschnell. Es identifiziert Zellen, die unterdurchschnittlich abschneiden, solche, die Ressourcen verbrauchen, ohne einen Mehrwert zu bieten. Diese ineffizienten Zellen werden zur Entfernung markiert, um Platz für eine widerstandsfähigere zelluläre Gemeinschaft zu schaffen. Es ist kein gewaltsamer Prozess, es ist eine natürliche Folge einer massiv verbesserten Umgebung. Wenn sich die Bedingungen verbessern, tut Ihr Körper endlich das, wofür er schon immer konzipiert war: gedeihen. Er stößt aus, was dem Ganzen nicht mehr dient, und hält ein perfektes internes Gleichgewicht aufrecht. Diese Umgebung schafft den ultimativen Test, eine Form der zellulären Selektion. Gesunde Zellen passen sich schnell an. Sie stellen ihre Energiequelle auf Fett um und verlassen sich auf Ketone. Sie werden stabiler, effizienter und funktionieren unter diesen Bedingungen tatsächlich besser. Aber beschädigte Zellen sind metabolische Verschwender. Sie hängen oft von ständiger Glukoseverfügbarkeit ab. Sie haben Schwierigkeiten, sich anzupassen, wenn die Zuckerzufuhr unterbrochen wird. Sie schaffen den Wechsel nicht. In dieser neuen Umgebung versagt ihre strukturelle Integrität. Ihre Überlebensfähigkeit ist beeinträchtigt. Fasten zwingt ihre Mitochondrien dazu, ultraeffizient zu werden und saubereren Brennstoff mit weniger metabolischem Abfall zu verbrennen. Diese mitochondriale Erneuerung ist wie ein brandneuer Motor für ihren Körper, der zu Spitzenleistungen fähig ist. Es ist keine sofortige Veränderung, sondern eine graduelle und unglaublich kraftvolle Verschiebung ihres inneren Gleichgewichts. Effizienz wird belohnt und Ineffizienz wird aufgedeckt. Das ist biologische Gerechtigkeit auf mikroskopischer Ebene. Mit der Zeit führt dies zu einer stabilen, widerstandsfähigen und hoch abgestimmten zellulären Umgebung. Es ist der Zustand, in dem Ihr Körper endlich wieder mit seinem uralten und natürlichen Design im Einklang steht. Doch auch wenn dieser Prozess kraftvoll ist, gibt es etwas Entscheidendes, das Sie verstehen müssen, bevor Sie beginnen. Denn auch wenn dieser Zustand kraftvoll sein kann, ist es nichts, was man missverstehen oder überstürzen sollte. By now, it might seem like extended fasting is a powerful solution. And in many ways, it is. But it's important to understand something clearly. Fasting is not a miracle. It is not a shortcut. And it is not something that should be approached without awareness. What you are seeing is your body entering a specific biological state, a state that shifts your system from constant intake to internal regulation, from growth to repair, from abundance to efficiency. But this state comes with limits, because while your body is highly adaptable, it is not designed to be pushed indefinitely without support. 72 hours without food is a significant physiological stress, and while your body can handle it under the right conditions, those conditions matter. Hydration becomes critical, because without proper fluid intake, your body cannot maintain balance. Electrolytes become essential: sodium, potassium, magnesium. These are not optional during prolonged fasting. They are necessary for nerve function, for muscle contraction, for maintaining stability in your internal systems. Sleep also becomes more important, because during sleep, many of your repair processes are amplified. Hormonal balance, cellular repair, immune regulation, all of these depend on quality rest, and without it, the benefits of fasting may be reduced. Now, there's another important point. Extended fasting is not appropriate for everyone. People with certain medical conditions, individuals taking specific medications, pregnant or breastfeeding women, and those with a history of eating disorders should not attempt prolonged fasting without medical supervision. Even for healthy individuals, fasting should not be used as a constant strategy. It is a tool, and like any tool, it is most effective when used in the right context. Your body does not need to be in a constant state of deprivation to function well. In fact, balance is what allows it to thrive. Periods of nourishment, periods of rest, periods of stress, and periods of recovery. Fasting is simply one of those phases. A phase where your body shifts inward, focuses on repair, optimizes internal systems, and reinforces efficiency. But it should always be part of a broader lifestyle, one that includes proper nutrition, movement, sleep, and recovery. Because in the end, your body is not broken. It is not failing. It is constantly working to maintain balance, to protect you, to repair what needs repair, and to adapt to the environment you create. Fasting does not create these systems. They already exist. What fasting does is give them space to operate. And when used correctly, it allows your body to do something remarkable. Not by forcing change, but by removing constant interference. So instead of asking, how far can I push my body? Maybe the better question is, how can I support it better? Because when you create the right conditions, your body doesn't just survive, it adapts, it optimizes, and it becomes more efficient from the inside out. Your body is always working for you. The question is, are you giving it the conditions it needs? Remember, the difference is in the absorption. Chelated minerals like magnesium glycinate are the standard for high bioavailability and gut health. Your activity should support your metabolism, not exhaust it. Listen to your body's signals during the 72-hour window. Recovery is the final leg of our stool. Sleep is non-negotiable. It is the time when the deep cellular cleaning reaches its peak performance. During these deep sleep cycles, neurotransmitters like GABA and hormones like melatonin work in synergy with magnesium to restore your neural pathways. This creates hormonal stability, preventing the typical crash associated with poorly managed fasting protocols. Stability is the key to longevity. By integrating these three pillars into a 14-day reset, you transform fasting from a stressful event into a profound biological rejuvenation. A broader lifestyle of proper nutrition, conscious movement, and restorative sleep is what makes the remarkable internal changes of fasting permanent. Your body is not just surviving, it is adapting and optimizing. It is becoming the most efficient version of itself, from the inside out. Your body is always working for you. The only question remains, are you giving it the conditions it truly needs to perform its miracle? Thank you for joining this masterclass. Master your biology.